Welcome to this in-depth and comprehensive video on the impact of government debt on the economy. In this presentation, we will explore the critical relationship between government borrowing and the overall health of a nation's economy. By understanding the complexities of government debt, we can grasp its far-reaching effects on fiscal policies, interest rates, inflation, and private sector activities. So, let's dive right in. Government debt, also known as public debt or national debt, refers to the total amount of money that a government owes to its creditors. This debt is accumulated when a government spends more than it receives in revenues through taxes and other sources. Governments often borrow money by issuing bonds or securities to investors, both domestic and foreign, to finance various expenditures, such as infrastructure projects, social programs, and public services. Government debt is typically expressed as a percentage of a country's gross domestic product, also known as GDP, providing an indication of its size relative to the overall economy. The management of government debt is a critical component of fiscal policy, as it impacts the government's ability to fund its operations and the nation's economic stability. One of the significant consequences of government debt is the burden of interest payments. As the debt level increases, so does the interest that the government must pay on its outstanding debt. A significant portion of the government's budget may be allocated to service this interest, diverting funds from other essential areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. High interest payments can lead to a cycle of increasing debt, making it challenging to reduce the debt burden over time. Excessive government debt and the resulting interest payments can also lead to concerns among investors and credit rating agencies, potentially leading to credit downgrades and increased borrowing costs in the future. Moreover, the allocation of substantial government spending towards servicing the debt might limit funds available for productive investments and public goods, hindering the nation's long-term economic growth. Government borrowing can also have an impact on private investment. When the government competes with private borrowers for funds, it can lead to higher interest rates for businesses and consumers. This phenomenon is known as crowding out. Higher interest rates can discourage private investment, as the cost of borrowing increases. This, in turn, may result in reduced business expansion, lower capital investments, and decreased economic growth. Additionally, when government borrowing increases to finance deficit spending, it can lead to a reduction in available savings in the economy. This reduced pool of savings can further limit private investment opportunities. To mitigate crowding out, governments need to strike a balance between public and private sector borrowing, ensuring that private investment remains vibrant and contributes to economic growth. The level of government debt can influence inflation and the effectiveness of monetary policy. In some cases, governments may choose to finance their debt by printing more money, leading to an increase in the money supply. An excessive increase in the money supply can lead to inflation, as too much money chases the same amount of goods and services. Inflation erodes the purchasing power of consumers and can disrupt the stability of the economy. Central banks play a crucial role in managing inflation and economic stability through monetary policy, such as adjusting interest rates and open market operations. High government debt levels can limit the flexibility of monetary policymakers, making it more challenging to control inflation and stabilize the economy. In situations where inflation is becoming a concern, governments must take responsible fiscal and monetary actions to restore price stability and preserve the value of their currency. Fiscal responsibility is essential for ensuring economic stability and sustainability. Governments must carefully manage their spending, taxation, and borrowing to maintain a healthy fiscal balance. By adopting prudent fiscal policies, governments can create an environment conducive to sustainable economic growth, low inflation, and stable interest rates. Fiscal responsibility also plays a crucial role in maintaining investor confidence and attracting foreign investment. Sound fiscal management can enhance a country's creditworthiness and reduce the risk premium demanded by investors in the form of higher interest rates on government debt. Governments should strive to build credibility in their fiscal policies, as this will allow them to have more flexibility to address economic challenges when needed. Addressing government debt requires a multifaceted approach. Policymakers must strike a balance between responsible fiscal management and the need to invest in the country's future. Potential strategies include reducing non-essential spending, increasing government efficiency, implementing tax reforms, and encouraging economic growth to boost tax revenues. Long-term planning, transparency, and accountability are vital in effectively managing government debt. Governments can also engage in debt restructuring, refinancing, or debt consolidation to better manage their debt obligations and reduce interest burdens. During times of economic crises, such as recessions or pandemics, government debt can play a counter-cyclical role. Increased government spending and borrowing during these periods can help stimulate the economy and support businesses and households facing financial hardships. However, it's crucial for governments to balance these short-term measures with a long-term strategy to manage debt sustainability once the crisis has abated. Government debt plays a significant role in the economy, influencing interest rates, inflation, private investment, and overall economic stability. By adopting responsible fiscal policies, governments can navigate the challenges posed by debt and create an environment that fosters sustainable economic growth and prosperity. Thank you for joining us on this comprehensive journey to understand the impact of government debt on the economy. May this knowledge empower you to engage in informed discussions about economic policies and contribute to building a stronger and more resilient economy for the future.